Yeah, I believe we're live right
Okay.
now, Ciara.
Okay.
Hello.
Yep.
Yes.
Hi.
Hello, everyone. We have an unexpected live this afternoon on this Saturday because there is a breaking story out of Excelsior Springs, Missouri. A woman was rescued yesterday. The investigation is ongoing. A man is in custody. Tim Haslett is his name. And I am here with Ciara Tharp. Ciara Tharp is a neighbor. You actually helped rescue this woman. Is that right, Ciara?
It was my grandma. I was at work. My grandma was babysitting my almost 2-year-old and at my house.
Take us through what happened then. This was yesterday. At what time? What happened?
About 7:45, 7:50 in the morning, a lady ran to my neighbor's house and knocked on the door and was asking for help. My neighbor wouldn't let her in the house, but she called 911. And so she ran down to my house and knocked on the door. And when my grandma answered, she found a lady that had a collar around her neck. She could see ligature marks. And she was telling my grandma, I've been raped. I've been held captive. Please help me. You have to help me. He's going to end up killing me.
When you
And
say a
so my
call,
grandma,
oh,
she took a
go ahead.
minute being home with a baby. It took her a minute, but then she just knew she needed to help her. And so she brought her in and sat her down and covered her up.
Okay, good. She brought her in. She realized that she
Yeah.
really needed help. When you
Yeah.
say a collar, what do you mean by a collar around her neck?
She had a metal dog collar around her neck, which my grandma described as a collar you normally see like on a pit bull for like bad dogs, is what she said. It was pretty
Like a
tight around her
shock
neck.
collar? Wow.
No, my neighbor has been reporting it's a shock collar. My grandma said no, it was just a metal collar.
Okay. Okay. And then what happened?
And she had
Once you're
well, she had duct tape around her neck too, which we're guessing her mouth was probably duct taped, and we think she probably grabbed it and pulled it down when she escaped.
okay, okay. And then what did your grandmother do after that? Was she brought her inside, took care of her, then what? Sorry, there's a bit of a
She
lapse
she
in
brought her in and she covered her up, and she could tell the girl is very hungry.
So
Yes.
this is a woman then that's clearly been being held for a long time. She was hungry. Did she look malnourished? We, it looks like we might be losing Ciara a bit on this feed. So let me while we wait and hope to get her back or refresh her feed, let me go through what we know. Yesterday a woman was rescued. There you are. There you are, Ciara, in
Yeah.
Excelsior Springs, Missouri. This is a suburb of the Kansas City metro area. This was at a time when people were going to work, taking their kids to school. Ciara, I'm going to try to refresh you. And Ciara's grandmother was there and let the woman in. We just learned that she had a collar around her neck, something that Ciara says is like that's something like a pit bull wears. Here she is. Here she is. All right. We're gonna add her. There you are. There you are. Um, so take me back again. So your grandmother said she looked malnourished, that she was hungry. There was duct
Yeah,
tape
she
around
could
her
tell
neck.
she was pretty hungry. Yeah. Yep. Yep. So my grandma went and grabbed a couple packages of muffins and a bottle of water for her until the police arrived.
Wow. And when the police arrived, then what happened?
They came in, they questioned her in my house, and my grandma said she knew every detail. She told them exactly who did it, exactly what house she came from. She had made the comment, my friends didn't make it, he killed my friends, my friends didn't make it.
So there are other victims, and so we're talking about murders as well.
They haven't located any victims as far as we know right now, but she was pretty adamant about that her friends had been murdered by him.
Okay. Do we know how long she was held and how old she was? Do we know how long she was held and how old she was? I apologize, everyone, about this, the connection. Clearly, we're doing our best here with Ciara, and we're so grateful that she was willing to join us to share what she knows. We'll see if we can't get her back. Yeah, Racer Girl 8803. We're so glad the girl got away and thankful that you all helped her. Ciara is a neighbor here. We'll keep going. Thank you, Ciara, for being here. So, how old was the victim, do you suspect, and how long do you suspect she was held?
She was 23 years old.
Do we know how long she was held for by Tim?
She
By Tim
said she had
Haslett?
been there since September.
Since September. So for a long time. So what's going on right now in the neighborhood? Are they searching the house?
Yes, they've been there. The CSI units are there today. They've had the cadavers there again today. It's
Okay.
they got it taped off pretty good up there.
But no other victims yet. We're still waiting for additional charges to come down. Again, this is
They've
a
seen
developing
some
story.
barrels. Some of the neighbors that live behind his house said that they seen about a dozen barrels being brought out of his basement.
Really?
And that's where she had been held captive at. She said he had kept her tied up in his basement. She said he left to take his son to school, and when he left, she took the opportunity to escape. And the school's only like maybe 2 minutes from the house. So she had a matter of like minutes, up to maybe not even 10 minutes to get away before he was back.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Um, wow. Did your grandmother or you know this man? He clearly has a child that he's taking to school. Was he well known in the neighborhood?
No,
Tim Haslett?
nobody knew him. I've only seen him. I one of my neighbors said he's lived there about 3 years. I've probably only seen him 3, 4 times, maybe. I've only had one interaction with him, and he wasn't a very pleasant person.
And so this woman made a run for it, and she was running from neighbor house to neighbor house. Your grandmother let her in.
Yes.
What did your grandmother? What did she tell your grandmother? What else did she tell your grandmother?
She claims she was pregnant. We're not sure if she's really pregnant. One thing we wondered is that maybe the stress from being held captive, that maybe her period stops. We're not really for sure if she's pregnant or not.
Okay. Okay. And she said what we know now is sexual assault.
Yes.
That she claimed her friends didn't make it. We don't know what that means.
Yeah.
What kind of barrels are they referring to being taken out? Are these barrels that the police brought in for evidence or barrels that were in his house that they're taking out?
Everybody's guessing that they're barrels that they were taking out. They're big blue drums.
Wow. Wow. What else are you hearing from neighbors?
Well, not a whole lot. Like, the only neighbor I've really talked to is the one that had called 911. They said that a tow truck driver came to tow his truck away, and that the tow truck driver made the comment he's been towing vehicles from that residence, like different vehicles, the last couple months.
Wow. 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 And so with your and I want to go over again what she looked like. She had duct tape around her neck. She had a collar around her neck.
Yeah.
She was hungry. Did your grandmother feed her at all or give her
Yeah.
anything?
Yeah, she gave her some muffins. With it being my house, my grandma just grabbed the first thing she knew that was there. I have a big box of like the little packages of mini muffins. So my grandma just grabbed a bunch of those packages and gave them to her.
What was she wearing?
My grandma didn't really go into detail. My neighbor claims that she had a trash bag on. And I asked my grandma today, and she said no, she absolutely did not have a trash bag on. She did have clothes on. She described the shorts like, I don't know if she had underwear on. She said it reminded her really short shorts, but said she wasn't clothed. Like, she didn't,
Yeah. Yeah. This people are asking where this is taking place. This is a suburb of Kansas City, Missouri. Is that correct?
yeah.
Excelsior Springs.
Yeah, we're a
And
small town off of Kansas City.
okay, and from what I've read in the news, I haven't ever been there before. I've been to Kansas City, but
Yeah.
from what I'm reading in the news, this is a nice neighborhood. It's a family neighborhood. Is that how you'd explain it, Ciara?
Yes, I've lived in the neighborhood for
Looks like we might have lost Ciara one more time. Oh, there you are, Ciara.
yep,
You said that you'd lived in the neighborhood for how long? We lost you for a bit there again.
almost 30 years.
Wow.
Almost 30 years. I've lived in the house I live in now for 25.
For
And I've
25
been
years.
proud to grow up in Excelsior. I was proud to raise my kids in Excelsior until this.
We lost Ciara again. I think that what we can probably do later when we have a better connection, Ciara and I will have another conversation. But I did want to bring this breaking story to everyone. We are following it, and here, Ciara, we'll have you one more time. Ciara, we'll get together when our connection is better. If you wouldn't mind,
Okay.
I'd love to do a recorded interview with you at a
Yeah.
later time. But will you do us a favor at Hidden True Crime and thank your grandmother for what she
Yes.
did? This
Yes, I
is
will.
this is an unbelievably heartbreaking story, and I just also want to commend this woman for escaping. It sounds like she made a daring and brave escape, and I'm so
Yeah.
grateful for your grandmother who realized the situation and let her in. Is there anything else you want to tell us at this moment? What's going on, or anything else we need to know?
I don't know of anything right now. There is a lot of rumors flying around on Facebook, and a lot of neighbors that live around that house that are putting out information that's definitely not true or doesn't seem to be true from the way she talked.
Okay. Okay. Um, Also, and then yeah, one last question actually. Was it just him and his son who lived there? Was there anyone else in the house that we know?
As far as I know, it's just him and his son. I had never seen the little boy there, but I have sources that work with the school district that said yes, his son lived there with him.
Okay. And his name is Tim Haslett, and he is
Yes,
behind bars right
yes,
now.
yes.
So,
They captured him. I actually wasn't home. I must have not been home when it happened, but I have a friend that said she seen the guns drawn and his truck was parked on my street. That's where it was towed from. So I'm guessing the police were on it very fast. And I
okay.
had heard from parents that their kids go to that school. The police were down in the kid drop off line waiting for him. And so I'm
Okay.
guessing they probably caught him when he was dropping his son off.
All right. All right. Okay. Wow. Wow. And how old exactly is this son? Elementary school, it sounds.
8 years
8
old.
years old, 8 years old. My goodness, my goodness. And honestly, where mine goes, I want to know whose son he is. Like how long
Yeah.
has this been going on and what don't we know? There's clearly a lot to find out about this story. So I want everyone to know Hidden True Crime is covering this story. We're on this story. Ciara, it is so nice to meet you. I'm so grateful you talked to our community. We are a community that cares very much about the victims and the heroes in cases and about domestic violence. That's what our focus is. So again, thank your grandmother. Thank you for helping.
I will.
Let's be in touch, and when we get some better connection, and let's have an additional interview, and we'll be continuing to follow the story. And please keep our community in touch,
Okay.
or in the loop. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you
Yep.
for all you've done. All
Thank
right.
you.
Hey, we'll talk to you later.
Okay.
Bye bye.
Bye.